Welcome to Voodoo Whiskey Gaming, and this is my late review of Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. I played it on the PS4, it's also available on the Xbox One and PC. So let's start with the story. You play as Cal Kestis, who is working on a planet called Braca as a scrapper. Cal's good friend nearly dies, and Cal has to do some Force-type stuff to save him, and, well, that exposes Cal as being basically one of the last Jedi. He wasn't really a Jedi, he was a Padawan, but through the journey that you take in the game, he grows once more, and he grows into who he needs to be. His main quest throughout the game is to find a holocron that has basically a list of Force-sensitive kids that could rebuild the Jedi Order. Unfortunately for Cal, the Inquisitors, a special branch of the Empire, are on his trail and they're trained to deal with Jedi. Overall though, the story was really good. I was really into the characters, I was really into the story they were telling. I was just impressed with it. As for the audio is great in this game. I love the music. It is so good. It is so Star Wars. It fits with what is going on when stuff is going on. I just really liked that. But the sound effects for the lightsaber, the blasters, the creatures, the enemies, just the world itself was fantastic. And then of course you've got the voiceover work, and man, it is good. It is very well done. All of the characters are well done, so it helps make everything more believable. Now let's get into the gameplay mechanics and whatnot, and this is important because I don't feel that EA did a good job exemplifying what this game is. This is not just some stereotypical action / running around adventure game. While there is platforming and there definitely is action and combat, the combat is very clearly inspired by the Soulsborne style games, but because you can select your difficulty, that does alter the challenge level, obviously. But then even beyond that, something that was never touched on, I had no idea going into this, was that this is a Metroidvania style game as well. So they've combined all of that, and it works. It just works. I do admittedly have a couple of small complaints with a couple of things. There were just a few things that could have used a bit more polish. I feel like the lock-on system could have used a little extra work, as well as what I would call the slip and slide sections. If you play the game, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. And there were a couple of times when I was doing like a wall run to a jump where it just didn't work quite the way it should have, but otherwise, the platforming works really well. The jumping, the unlocking new abilities to go back into new areas. And it's not just you unlocking Jedi abilities, your droid gets new abilities which will unlock other areas as well. It allows you to explore, it allows you to find secrets. A lot of the secrets in this game will be cosmetic. You'll be able to customize your lightsaber however you want it to look, which was really cool. I really liked that aspect of the game. But beyond that, you'll get to change your outfit, change the ship you fly on. It's really cool the way that they did that. Let's get into the combat. I think the combat works very well. The only complaint, like I said, was the lock-on could have been a bit better. I also feel like the combat has a good amount of depth. I'm not going to spoil some things, but you get a bunch of different abilities and you need to use them. You unlock skills and abilities for your lightsaber and you need to use them. They don't just come in handy, they become vital in combat. They mixed and matched a few different gameplay styles together and it worked really well. Let's get into the controls. I feel that the controls work very well in this game. I like a few things that they did. I did have one small problem, being that there were a few times where I pressed up on the D-pad to heal myself, and it just straight up did not work for whatever reason, so that was a little frustrating, and I did lose a few fights due to that, but it wasn't that big of a deal. Overall, I really liked the way the controls were mapped. I felt it was very intuitive and very easy to use. I never found myself thinking I was playing something else and pressing the wrong buttons at the wrong time. I also feel, apart from the pushing up on the D-pad to heal thing, I really didn't run into too many problems with the responsiveness of the controls. I felt like when I was trying to move, it moved the way I wanted. When I was aiming, it moved the way I wanted. And when I was slashing with the lightsaber and trying to dodge and stuff, it did what I wanted. There were admittedly times where I failed to dodge, but that was generally because I had gotten too greedy and was just whacking way too much and failed to dodge. Let's get into the graphics. I love the way this game looks. I will say, I'm a little bit spoiled right now because recently I have reviewed games that were just some of the best looking games I've ever seen. And this isn't quite up there, but that doesn't mean by any stretch of the imagination that it's a bad looking game. I gotta say, the facial capture that they did for the facial animations is really good. You really feel the emotion when the characters are delivering important dialogue. But beyond that, I love, like I said earlier, the customizing of the lightsabers. The different ways you can make it look are really cool because there's a bunch of little pieces that you can swap out to make it look completely different. You can make a completely unique lightsaber from someone else. And you can do that very easily. I love the creature design. I love seeing the stormtroopers. I love seeing the Inquisitors. I thought they had a really cool design. I like the planets you go to. Each planet is kind of a different biome and it adds something different each time you go to one, and I liked that. Overall, it's a good looking game. Yes, it is not the top of the top right now, but it is still a really good looking game. So to wrap this up, this game needs to be bought. Like, everyone should be playing this game. I don't care if you're that into Star Wars or not. I think it's just an excellent game. It's a great action-adventure game. It's got platforming, it's got combat, it's got puzzle solving, it's got Metroidvania stuff. I mean, it's got a lot, and it does it well. There are a few small flaws, but none of them took away from the overall experience. So clearly I am fully recommending this game. I think everybody needs to buy this game and enjoy this game. Okay, so in the comments down below, why don't you tell me what your favorite color lightsaber is? I've always been a fan of the yellow or the orange ones. I don't know if those are still canon in like the movies and shit. I don't care. I've always liked them. And as always, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button. And if you like what I'm doing in general, share, subscribe. Have a good one.